back to the countdown. This is number 34, Tokaido. This is a very zen, casual game, laid back. Uh, you are playing as travelers in feudal Japan on essentially a vacation. They took a journey, a walking journey for their vacations, and this game represents that. Going from Kyoto to Tokyo, I believe, or what becomes Tokyo. Um, Along this path, it's called the Tokaido. Um, so, during your turn, you are a traveler, and at the start of the game, you will be given randomly given two of these traveler cards, and you pick which one you want to be, and they all have various in-game bonuses that are a little different, like the two that I grabbed. Or this one is the orphan. She doesn't have to pay to eat at the inn. She will get one random card. And then the other one is Chubei. When he's at the inn, he meets a friend. Um, So, you're trying to get the most victory points, which represents having the best vacation, um, as it were. The mechanic that I want to talk about, well, before I get to that, the gameplay is 2 to 5. It's best with 4 or 5 players. Takes about an hour. The difficulty level is probably a 2, 9 or up. Um, Maybe 8 could handle it. My daughter uh, loved this game. It was her favorite at one point. So much so she had me have a Tokaido birthday party, and she invited 4 of her friends over, and I taught them how to play Tokaido, and we made a Tokaido cake, and it was good. So during your turn, whoever the furthest player back is, and this is the mechanic that I wanted to talk about, takes the next turn. So you can go as far forward as you want during your turn. It's not a certain number of spaces. You could go all the way to the end. You'd lose, but you could go as far forward as you want. And then the next player around the table is whoever is the furthest back on this path. Excuse me. So the choices of where to go during your turn are: you could go to the hot springs and get clean, and you would get a hot springs card, and it's worth 2 victory points at the end of the game. But if you happen to 2 victory points, 3 victory points, because the snow monkeys come down and join you, and that's supposed to be good luck. So totally random. You could go to the temple and donate money to the temple. So I didn't get the money out, but there's money, and most everything costs on a vacation. So you're going to need to have a little money. Donate to the temple. Whoever donates the most at the end of the game will get you get some victory points for when you donate, but at the end of the game, whoever's donated the most gets a good bump in victory points. You could find a friend. And you just draw a card, and I met a samurai. That's 3 victory points on this spot. So say I wanted to find a friend, I went here with a green player, and they would get, oh look, I got a samurai, and they would keep that card. And then the blue player would go and says, well, I want to go to the hot springs. So they go to the hot springs, draw a card. Oh, so that they would keep that. And the purple player says, well, I'm going to go to the temple, and they donate to the temple, and then it would be the blue player's turn, and then the green players. Some of the spaces have multiple spots. There's extra spots open up in the 4 or 5 player game, which is why I like having the extra players. I didn't finish everything. There are landscape spaces along the way. There is a farmscape, a mountainscape, and a seascape. So the way they would remember their vacations was they would paint or draw a picture of what they saw when they were on their Tokaido. So the first time you stop at a farmscape, you would get one farmer cards, and you would put it face up, and that's 1 victory point. The next one you would get is 2 victory points, and it makes a nice little picture. as you play, you keep the little picture right in front of you, and then the third one. I think you could see that. Yep. Ooh, wrong way. So it makes a little picture that you keep in front of you as you're playing. Um, there are three spaces to the farm, three stops to complete the farm, four to complete the mountainscape, five to complete the seascape. You get 3 bonus points for being the first one to complete um, your the pictures. You can go shopping. So you go shopping to the store and you can buy some knickknacks. So you would draw the top 3 cards, and it says top 3, and it shows how much each item costs and the type of item. And there are 4 different types. The type of, I'm sure there's names for it, but special foods, knickknacks, clothing, and I'm forgetting what the other one is. Represented by a fan. It doesn't matter. It's just you know that there's 4 different types, and you get bonus points for completing the set. So the first shirt you would get 1 point, and then if you got another shirt, it's only worth 1 point because it's not a set. You want 4 different types, and if you have 4 different types, the second one's worth 3, the third one's worth 5, the fourth one's worth 7. So you're trying to complete sets of knickknacks and souvenirs for on your journey. Then you go to the inn because it's a 4-day journey, and the innkeeper will have will have food enough for all the players plus 1, and then you're going to try it. You will purchase dinner for the night. If you eat, if you have enough to eat and you eat, you'll get 6 victory points, and the food value is 1 to 3. At the end of the game, whoever has the most money spent on food will get 3 victory points. And I think I hit all of the stops. Yes, that's everything. There's a couple of expansions that add a little more flavor to the game. We like the game so much we got there's an upgraded version which each of the characters has a miniature that I will probably get to painting at some point, because that's another part of the gaming hobby is painting miniatures. But we'll save that for another episode. So this is Tokaido number 34. Highly recommend it. Even at 34, it's a fun game, and I'm wanting to play now that I got it out. So stay tuned for number 33 for the kids.